Hey there, welcome back to the athomedive YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joey and today we're in the kitchen making something fantastic. We're a long way from home, so every once in a while I really get a craving for something that reminds me of being back home. So today we're gonna make Hoppin John, which is really as simple and old school as it gets, even though there are a few variations on how to make it. So I'm gonna show you how I like to make it. So sit back, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Alright, so today on the counter, as you can see, we have a super simple list of ingredients, and I have 1 pound of bacon, but we're only going to use half of it. So you need 8 ounces of bacon, 1 large or 2 medium onions, 1 bell pepper, color doesn't really matter, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 quart of chicken stock, 3 stalks of celery. I have a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes that are stewed, and I have 1 pound of black-eyed peas that have been soaking overnight, and now they're drained. So this is actually all we need, so let's get started. I'm going to start by taking the half pound of bacon and cutting it into small pieces. That way we can put it on medium-low heat and render it out nice and crispy. So as you can see, we've got our bacon on, and we're gonna get the fat rendered out of that. And meanwhile, we're gonna move on to chopping all of these things up really small. Alright, so as you can see here, we have all of our vegetables chopped up. We have our tomatoes open, and our bacon is starting to render out. You can see the fat starting to form in the bottom of the pan. So we're just going to keep this stirred and not rush it and let this render out a little bit. As you can see, this does take a minute, which is why we waited to chop our vegetables. So we're going to give this just a few more minutes to get nice and crispy and let the fat go, and then we'll be right back.
A little later.
So we're back, and as you can see here, the bacon is nice and crispy. It's starting to get foamy, and that lets us know that it's about done. We're gonna go ahead and add in the veggies, and then we can turn the heat up just a little bit. We're gonna sweat these vegetables down until they're nearly cooked or starting to be translucent.
Five minutes later.
All right, we are back. It's been about 5 minutes. And as you can see here, the vegetables are starting to soften up a little bit. They're not really taking any color yet, but that'll come here in just a moment. We don't really need them to have much color, but we do want the flavor to come out of the vegetables and into the oil. And we are almost ready. We're probably gonna give it another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and move on.
11 minutes later.
We can see here, the vegetables are starting to stick to the bottom a little bit, and there's a little bit of color starting to form. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the tomatoes and stir those in and let that take the color off the bottom of the pot. And once that's done to glazing, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the black-eyed peas. Once the black-eyed peas are in, we can add the chicken stock and let this hang out and simmer until the peas are tender. It usually takes about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on how soaked your black-eyed peas are. So now we wait. Test this in about an hour to see if you need to add any seasoning. Salt is usually recommended. As you can see here, the Hoppin John is still simmering. It's been simmering for quite a while now, and it's always good to go ahead and check the seasoning and to see if your black-eyed peas are starting to soften up. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste these things and see if we need to adjust anything. My black-eyed peas are almost soft, so I'm gonna go ahead and add about 2 teaspoons of salt and let these cook for about another 20 minutes. Alright, so as you can see here, our Hoppin John is nice and cooked. The black-eyed peas have softened up quite a bit, and everything's really cooked together for the past while. So our Hoppin John is done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat and go ahead and get a few big scoops of this and put it right over the fluffy white rice that we just made. If you'd like to see a video on how we made that, click the link in the top right corner now. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I love fresh cut green onions. So we're gonna give these a quick sprinkle right down the middle, and then our Hoppin John is ready to go. All right, well that wraps us up on how to make Hoppin John. Comment below and let me know how yours turns out. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.